An old advert used to use a slogan to sell an alcoholic beverage that went like this: you can stay as you are for the rest of your life, or you can change. I won't give you the product name because I want to use it here to talk about a much more exciting and much better form of change. How to transform your life in 28 days. Charlie Brown, the famous cartoon character created by Charles Schulz, was slumping home from the baseball game with his bat over his shoulder, shuffling his feet, head hanging down, and saying the following: how could we lose when we were so sincere? 153 to nothing. How could we lose when we were so sincere? You see, Charlie Brown posed it as a question, but the reality is many people have not only posed that question, but they have answered it. And they answer the question by saying, I'm not good enough. I'm not advantaged enough. I have been a victim. I don't have the right DNA. And so there are many excuses and reasons why people say, give the answers to that question that are negative, paralyzing answers to that question. The reality is, Charlie Brown and everyone else listening to me, sincerity is not enough. But it doesn't mean that you can't change with not only sincerity, but with good action that follows that sincerity. 95% of my clients are carrying the effects of limiting beliefs thinking. Effects like anxiety, fatigue, depression, and just general lassitude and loss of motivation in their lives. The effects can be devastating. They can result in negativity, they can result in poor work performance, they can even result in the breakup of marriages and other relationships in one's life. And so when we deal with change, we need to deal with it from the inside out. Is it hard? Perhaps, but it is not complicated. Easy to grasp, simple to do, and within your power to bring about the change that you want. Change can happen to you in 28 days through the application of the processes I want to leave with you today. Step number 1, take 5. Here we are talking about daily goal achievement. A well-known mentor of mine from early days by the name of Paul J. Meyer said, if you are not today making the progress you want to make or are capable of making, it is simply because your goals are not clearly enough defined. Daily change requires daily goals. Longer-term change, longer-term goals. And so I want to encourage you to start with daily goals, 5 of them. 5 simple goals that become the short jumps that get you into a habit that creates and builds success. Make them short and simple, but also important. Things like calling your dad or calling a friend to just say hello and to say that you appreciate them. Writing letters that you have been perhaps procrastinating. Making contact and doing some DIY things around the house that you also have been procrastinating. All of these are thieves of your positive attitude and leave you feeling demotivated and inadequate. And so 5 daily goals per day can become the beginning point, the trigger to positive change in your life. By doing this, you will start developing a winning culture. And instead of the frequently used words, I can't, you will be able to say back at the end of every day, I did. Don't end the day before you have ticked off those 5 things that you commit to do on a daily basis. Do this for a minimum of 28 days and something changes. It even changes in your hormonal structure. It changes in the way you approach every day. It changes in the way you greet other people. It changes in your posture. Everything about you will change to the extent that you change from the inside. You will have seen a series of developments that leave you feeling and knowing, I am a good, trustworthy, and competent person, rather than a failing one and a negative one. Process number 2 is switch channels. You and I have a TV screen somewhere in our subconscious mind that is playing a movie of the you that you have learned to see yourself being. Psychologists say you do not act like the person you are, but like the person you think you are. And so the channel that is playing in your brain on a daily basis is one that has been learned, one that has grown over years. And what I want to tell you is that you are able to change that channel. I want to encourage you to spend time every day thinking about and picturing the you that you want to become. Think about it and color in the details, color in the picture, add to it the fragrances and the sounds and the people and everything else that accompanies that picture of you as you want to be. And then take time every day and take time every time you're going into a new environment to picture yourself as that person. Whether it's the dentist's waiting room, whether it's the exam room, whether it's the workspace, or whether it's just connecting with your family. Picture yourself as the person you want to be, the person you know you are capable of being. And even if you don't believe that you are able to imagine yourself like that, let me assure you, you are doing it already. You are imagining yourself in some ways with limits, with ways of thinking that are limiting you. Now, change the channel. Move to a different picture of you, and then begin to live that person into reality. Process number 3, talk nicely. Here's a question. If you were to talk to your best friend the way you talk to yourself, would that person still be your friend? You see, self-talk creates what we call neural pathways. They are habits of thought, attitudes, and as I mentioned earlier, limiting beliefs. They create a linkage between a sensation or an event or even a sound or an aroma that triggers reactions, responses in our subconscious minds. Those neural pathways lead us inevitably to act according to the way that we have thought we were supposed to stay on the ground instead of flying. Now, the reality is those were all created by a thing called affirmations. They were created by language that we have used, things that we have said and learned to say habitually about ourselves. I can't, I don't, I'm unable, I was born on the wrong side of the tracks, I have the wrong DNA, I have been hurt too badly, I don't want to take any more chances. Instead, you can replace those neural pathways with new ones, and that's what affirmations do. Affirmations are powerful, positive, present tense statements about reality as you want it to be, about your identity as you want it to be. Statements that say things like, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, for example. Or, I am more than a conqueror. I ain't a turkey, I'm an eagle. When you start saying those things on a regular basis, you will start to see change happening in your attitudes, in the same way that it has formed sometimes negative attitudes. And so I want to encourage you, take time to write 10 to 20 one-line statements about yourself and about your reality as you want it to be. Write those out and spend time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes every day, just saying them aloud to yourself. You can do it while you're driving your car, while you're washing the dishes, while you're shaving in the morning, whatever it is, and use the time to begin to speak to yourself, to speak to your subconscious mind, the language of a winner, the language of a different person, a different you, the you you really want to become. So those 3 processes are my keys to personal transformation. And if you do those on a regular basis over the next 28 days, I guarantee you that you will see change. I have seen thousands of clients having their lives transformed by the application of these processes and principles in their lives on my watch. And I know that you can do the same. You can change if you will apply them. This is all we have time for today, but I want to encourage you, if you want more tools and training in how to apply them, click on the link below for the course, How to Tame Your Dragon. And I look forward to seeing you again in the near future.